Podcast.
Hello and welcome to another Starmen Debates. I am your host Devin, and with me I have Cody and David. Unfortunately, Billy couldn't be with us today.
Hi.
How's it going?
So, again guys, we'll go around the table, explain what you're playing recently.
I recently started playing Rogue Legacy.
Good game.
I love it.
Figured you would. David.
I've been getting back into Zelda, so...
Which one?
Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild.
Okay. Which one would you say, in your opinion, would you care for more? Or are they just so vastly different that it's hard to give it?
They're pretty vastly different.
Okay, that's a fair answer. And I am still currently working on Hollow Knight, so that's been my game for the last millennia. Long game is long.
It's spiky.
And spiky. Yes, there's a lot of death spikes in that game.
And Scabby.
Yeah, I haven't ran into much problem with stabby and bosses. It's just mostly death spikes. So, guys, today's topic is actually unnecessary game mechanics.
The driving portion is next!
Oh, god damn. Yes, an unnecessary game mechanic, for those who are not in the know, is a mechanic that's put into the game just to either extend the gameplay, try and add something to the game to make it more marketable, but usually you get frustrated with it and you wish it was never there to begin with.
Yeah, I've run into a few.
Care to mention some?
Any stealth portion in an action game where there's no stealth, and if you fail at the stealth section, you lose.
Yeah, and usually they make some BS plot like, oh, you lost your weapon and you're caught by the enemies and you gotta try to sneak out of prison or something.
Yeah.
Or, in the case of Legend of Zelda, we'll go there, Ocarina of Time has a stealth section where you still have a sword. I don't know why I can't cut down guards mercilessly, but apparently that's a thing I can't do.
I don't know, maybe they thought it'd be sexist.
Yeah. I still want to cut down my guards. Another game that I like to bring up is actually the whole Elder Scrolls series and the unnecessary game mechanics in that. Specifically in Oblivion. I was going to go on about the tumbler system of unlocking any chest using tumblers, which... fun for the first 5 chests or so, but after the 6th or 7th lock, you start to get really tired of that mechanic.
Especially when the lockpick keeps breaking.
Yeah. The other mechanic that actually Dave informed me of, and Dave, would you like to explain this one about the chat system in Oblivion?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you're able to chat. It's been a while, so I don't fully remember it. But you can chat to characters to get more information out of them. But you get this wheel that you have no real control over that kind of spins every time you ask them a question. And you gotta hope that the bar that's highest is on the spot you want.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that system. It's horrible.
No, fairly so. I only played like a bare minimum of Oblivion, and I do love the Elder Scrolls series, don't get me wrong. Morrowind and Skyrim are my jam. But I could not get into Oblivion because a few mechanics kind of drove me away.
Level scaling brought a lot of people away from that one.
Yeah, where enemies scale with your level, not your skill set.
Yeah.
Another game mechanic I can think of is, I guess, any game where you can get addicted to a drug.
So the Fallout series is a good example of this. And yes, that's fun in its own right, but
It
should be something that you can turn off and on. Because some people are like, no, I really need that drug because I'm dying. But apparently I'm going to get addicted to it.
And it gets so annoying when you do get addicted, and all of a sudden it just you start going through withdrawals, like in the middle of combat.
Yeah, that's what I need. Realism.
Yeah, it's like, but I don't have any of this stuff. What am I going to do?
Die?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's about all you can really do in that.
Yeah, because the screen goes all like woozy and fuzzy.
Ah.
And I'm like, great realism, but I, prefer to, what's the word? Live.
Yeah, no. Any game like that where, like, there's a constant detriment to your health. Either, like, oh no, you're in a cold area, so your health ticks away because you're freezing.
Now, I've got another game where they have something like that, but it's prevalent throughout the entirety of the game. Far Cry 2. Your character, right at the start, gets infected with malaria.
Ah, yes.
And you have to take
these pills.
Yeah, these pills to prevent this from overtaking you. Problem is, this is constant. And I don't know if you run out of these pills, but if you do, it's gonna suck.
Yeah.
And there's no way to cure the malaria.
No.
No.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it's a constant watch my health drop until I take these pills.
Yeah, and it's so irritating. Especially when this happens in the middle of a firefight.
Yeah, no, that would be annoying.
I'm like,
hold on, guys, time out. My diabetes is kicking in.
Yeah, hold on, guys. I gotta take these pills. Why? I got malaria. It'd be amazing if they're like, "Oh, you take care of you, dude. We'll just wait over here."
Yeah, just, you dude.
That reminds me, another unnecessary game mechanic would be like a as you said, time limit in games that don't need it.
Oh yes, lovely time limits. These are my bane. Like, run through the section, and you have 5 minutes to do it.
Oh.
Why? Because something's happening. We put story plot to make this a reason.
A bomb went off. You have to run it.
Yeah.
I have 2 games that come to mind. First is Lightning Returns Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
That has a 13-day time limit.
Oh, like Valkyrie Profile. It also has like 7 days to do everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but apparently I found out you can extend your time. So I guess that's good.
That's good, but it's still unnecessary.
It's still annoying and unnecessary. And
what's the one? World Ends With You. Has that kind of time limit too. You have 7 days, but I think it's an artificial time limit.
Right.
Where I think the story just progresses to the next day once you do the right things. I haven't got too far in that game, but I feel like someone told me that was an artificial time limit.
Okay.
But sucks if that's actually a thing where you only have 7 days in an RPG too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I hate... For the longest time, when I heard it had like a 13-day time limit, Lightning Returns, I was like, I don't want it.
Yeah.
Then I was like... Then I saw it on sale for $11, and I was like, I might as well try it. I'm going to regret it if I don't.
Fair enough. Did you regret it after you got it?
Don't know. I haven't played it yet.
Oh.
I'm trying to. I haven't finished in Final Fantasy 13 or 13-2 yet, so I'm trying to get through those 2 first.
Okay.
Complain about games you don't play.
Yeah. Good job, Cody. All right.
It's prevalent.
The other one that I like to bring up is the Collectathon.
Oh, yeah. I don't mind if it's completely optional, but if you need to do it to get the good ending, or something, that's just brutal.
Yeah. Collect 100 of these things so you can see the best ending.
Yeah.
And they're scattered all over the place, and we're not going to tell you where.
And they're well hidden, too, so good luck with that.
Well hidden, so have fun with the excessive amount of gameplay that you're going to be unnecessarily wanting to do. Rare games were, like, notorious for this back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Jet Force Gemini was the worst case. So you had to collect those bear guys at the second half to fight the final boss again.
Oh, yeah, those little dudes. I vaguely remember this game. I vaguely remember not liking this game.
And the other problem is that they could get killed.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, I remember this now. This is why I didn't like this game, because I am very quick to draw with shooters. So anything that runs out to me, I'm probably going to shoot in the face. These little guys died too easily.
Well done, quick draw.
I'm sorry. You ran at me. I'm fighting bug things, and you were just the size of one, so...
Would,
Can you explain that little Sally had to die, Devin?
Yes, Devin. Why did she have to die?
Well, she just came right at me.
she wanted to hug you, you monster.
Yeah, well, I can't distinguish hug from wanting to strangle.
They're both very confusing.
Both very confusing. Emotions confuse me, and I just go to the violent route.
So, would Chrono Trigger fall under the collectathon to get the best ending?
What do you have to collect in that to get the best ending?
I don't know. I know there's multiple endings, and it depends on your choices. And
actually, it doesn't.
Oh,
most of the multiple endings are behind New Game Plus.
Okay.
It's just like the earlier you fight Lavos, the different the ending is.
Okay.
Okay.
I know there's a different ending with Frog if you
kill Magus.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's more based on your choices than collecting a bunch of things.
Yeah, the only thing you need to collect is that clone of Chrono if you want to keep him around. And even then, you can still end the game without him.
So it's optional.
Okay. But yeah, I do agree about the collection things, because it's almost like you're drawn to do it.
Yeah.
Just out of spite. Or just wanting to...
It plays on a need of your OCD.
Yeah.
Okay, I got 5 out of 20 of these little bastards, so I might as well go for the 15 I missed.
For me, the worst one was Donkey Kong 64.
Oh my god. That had too many collectathons.
Yes.
What was it, like 5 for each character?
Yeah. So you had to revisit the stage with different characters all the time.
Yeah. No, F that.
Like, I'm doing it, trying to collect everything in one game right now. The Tomb Raider reboot.
Okay.
And boy, is that ever annoying. Because unfortunately, one of the part of the collection is to upgrade all the weapons.
Are you talking about collections or achievements?
No, collections, like... Because I'm collecting all the relics, documents.
Yeah.
It's irritating. And you're right, it does play on the OCD thing.
Yeah. I don't mind that much if it's like, collect these pages and you get a little bit of lore and documentation from it. That's fine. I just don't like the collectathons, like, collect these tokens scattered all over the world, and they don't do anything unless you have them all.
Well, here's a funny thing. In Tomb Raider, they have these, like, GPS caches.
Yeah.
All they do is give you a little bit, like, 5 experience points.
Okay.
And I'm like...
But they're optionals.
Yeah, they're optional, but... I can't... I'm trying to think of games that force you to collect. Oh, one I can bring up right off the bat is the new Batman game.
Okay.
In order to... The way a friend told me, when you beat the game, you get half of an ending. In order to get the rest of the ending, you have to actually collect every Riddler trophy, and there's 300 of them.
Ah, yes. I think I've heard this.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, and then you get the good part. You get the good ending. I'm like, I'm just gonna sell it.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll watch the ending on YouTube.
Yeah, thank God for YouTube for some of these.
Yeah.
I think it bothers me the most when the extra scene or ending was completely useless.
Oh yeah.
Like Psychonauts did this with the saving, like getting all the brains, or no, collecting every single thing. You get like an extra scene with Linda, that fish monster,
Okay.
and she tells you something about herself. I completely forget what it was, but
Well, spoilers anyway, so we don't want to say it anyway.
yeah. But I just couldn't for the life of me do that, so I just looked it up on YouTube. So yeah, I'm glad YouTube had it, and it wasn't really that big of a thing.
No, that's always the worst. It's like it's a small cutscene that really adds a little bit of flavor to the game, but nothing major that wasn't worth the effort.
Yeah.
So one thing I can think of that, my own personal opinion, I think it was unnecessary for Skyrim. The alchemy.
Alchemy. What about crafting in general?
Yeah.
The overall crafting, Skyrim didn't do it that badly,
Okay.
in my opinion. There were much worse games where it's
True.
like, collect every little piece of ore, then you can make something. I'm trying to think, RuneScape was, I think, one that was bad for this. Especially considering that your magic ran on ruins that would be used up even if you failed the spell.
Ugh. I also got another one, the remake of Tactics Ogre. I mean, you get ore and stuff like that from battles. You can't do that, but most of the time you have to buy it at the store, refine it, and then craft with it.
Oh, wow, yeah. An extra step in the process that was not necessary.
Yeah.
And it probably costs a lot of money to buy it.
Oh, yeah. You'll have to sell and fight a lot to get the money you need to craft.
The other one that we should go into is the Quicktime Events.
Oh yes. The good old Quicktime Events.
You're walking along, you're enjoying your game, you're taking a line. Also, press the A button real fast when you die.
Oh, yeah, I hate that type of QuickTime event. For some reason, I didn't mind the God of War QuickTime events that much. I guess because you're in the middle of a fight when it happens.
Yeah, and
But when it happens out of nowhere, or during a cutscene.
yeah, Resident Evil 4 was my pick for this.
Yeah.
During a cutscene, and then all of a sudden you're mashing the A button, otherwise this boulder is going to roll you over.
Or you get shanked.
Or you get shanked, or something dumb happens.
Or you get lopped with the axe.
Yep.
I think we all remember that.
I remember this is a mine chapter, like, hit the A button, like, during a fight with these guys, hit the A button to jump out of the cart in time. Or to duck, or otherwise you bash your head off one of the ceiling posts.
Ugh. I think I blacked that out.
Yeah, I imagine most people did, because it was not a fun section. But no, during a fight, it's actually kind of intuitive, because instead of just doing the motions of a fight, you get a little QuickTime event to kind of add to the scene and, you know,
Yeah.
watch some cool cutscenes as you're doing your actions. But I hate, though, is if you fail the QuickTime event, you do no damage to the boss or you lose health or something. You
Yeah.
get punished really hard for failing QuickTime.
Yeah.
So one game mechanic I'm thinking of, hacking.
Hacking is in, like, the Fallout.
Well, it's in Fallout, it's in like Sleeping Dogs, and the one annoying one I played recently was, I think, Deus Ex Human Revolution,
Okay.
and it was irritating. Like, you push the X button, it starts moving, and you have to control it with your controller, and sometimes laggy controls equals
Failure.
yes. Like, I wish they'd do... I like the Fallout type. I'm lying. I'm lying about that.
I was going to say, because I felt that was very confusing.
Yeah.
I never hacked anything in that game.
Yeah.
And I had a decent hack skill by the end of it. I was like 75 in hack.
Yeah.
Still couldn't hack a thing because I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Yeah, like, I hate hacking systems.
Then be thankful you didn't play dot hack when it was around.
Oh, yes.
Gate hacking. Go around, data drain enemies for virus cores, and then use them to hack the gates.
Ah.
I did.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad when they don't when they change that dramatically in GU, where you get them as plot items, so you don't really need to do that.
Like,
No,
as
they
much...
did. But they did bring in the Adler keys to get the ultimate weapons. Volume 2. Here's the kicker: if you go to the third one, all the ultimate weapons are unlocked automatically, making the Adler key thing in number 2 completely useless.
Wow. Pro tips from Dave. You're going to say something, guy, before?
I don't think it has any bearing.
Okay.
Oh, yes. So, unnecessary game mechanics in, like, racing levels in a game that's not primarily about racing.
Oh, yeah, some driving sections.
Yeah, let's see some good, guilty persons of this. Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto is a driving game, though.
Yeah.
But primarily it's like...
No,
yeah, you're right.
It's primarily a driving game. It just has other elements of shooter and gang warfare in it because...
Yeah, true.
It's edgy that way.
Yeah, if you talked about the hydraulic minigame in San Andreas, I might agree with you.
Yeah, the hydraulic in San Andreas was unnecessary.
Trying to think about games that have had driving that didn't need them.
See, none that really come to mind. Most games that have a driving mechanic had driving as their game.
I got one for you. Breath of Fire 4.
Oh?
You get this thing later in the game called the Sand Flyer.
Okay.
And you're driving through the desert on this thing, and you're supposed to... And it has all these twists and turns. And you're supposed to do jumps off dunes.
Ooh.
And it has loose controls. Like, if you go fast and turn, you skid.
Yes.
So you gotta be sure you gotta brake at the right time and speed up at the right time. In an RPG.
So, it reminds me of the minecart section in Mario RPG. I know it's not the same thing, but it just brought that into my memory. Like, thank God you didn't need to do that perfectly. It was just a fun little section. But I can imagine if, like, oh no, you had to do this perfectly.
I'd be like, yeah, I'm not playing anymore.
Well, you don't need to do the Sandflower thing perfectly. Like, for completists, you do, because it ups your dragon powers.
Okay.
Like, all the mini-games give you points, and the more points you have, and after you get a certain amount of points, you'll unlock a stronger version of a dragon form.
Okay.
Also, one of the 7 dragons you need to find is in there. You're supposed to jump a dune to a blocked-off area.
Yeah, that sounds confusing and unnecessary.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a real pain to find all 7, especially the Sea Dragon. Because that has its own mini-game. The sailing portion.
Oh, gotta love sailing. I'm just gonna quickly jump back to Zelda and Wind Waker.
Finally, funny you should mention that.
Okay.
It's sort of like that, except you can't control the wind.
Oh no!
So you have to wait for the wind to go in the right direction for you to go. And you have a resource meter that kind of acts as a time limit.
Oh.
Now you can row, And
But that uses up your resources.
Yeah. Oh yeah, did I mention the island that the sea dragon's on is invisible? So you have to be at the exact right spot.
Ooh.
Either that, or you get this short few second cutscene of nope, nothing there. When you try and search somewhere that doesn't have anything.
Ouch. Yeah, that's rough. Like, I was going to say, I hate the sailing mechanic in the friggin' Wind Waker, but this sounds like much worse.
Well, fortunately, the map is smaller, but still.
Yeah. Map is smaller, but you've got to pinpoint your target more accurately.
Yeah. And if you run out of resources, you go back to town.
Yay, you got to do it all over again.
Yep.
One unnecessary one I can think of from a couple games I've played is out of nowhere in, I don't remember which RPG, but there was an RPG where all of a sudden, without warning or explanation, all of a sudden I'm an animal. I'm like, why?
Okay, yeah. I'm trying to think of what RPG you're referring to.
Like, I can't even think of it.
But an unnecessary transformation where you're now an animal. The only thing I can think of is Twilight Princess, where you had the wolf form, but that was actually done fairly well in my opinion. Except for collect the bug fawns.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh,
Get the light bug so you can transform back to Link.
oh, you just reminded me of something. I can't remember which game it is, but it's one where you actually had to go out and collect bugs. I can't.
Animal Crossing?
No. No, I don't think so. Because I've never played Animal Crossing. I just don't remember what it is. But, one that comes to mind in Mario RPG.
Yeah?
The Tadpole Piano.
Yeah, that was, again, not necessary to beat the game. But
Yeah, the only thing that bothered me about that was the last song
yeah.
that you learned from the star.
Yeah.
You didn't get... They don't list the notes. You just have to hear them and guess
Yeah.
which ones are the right ones. Well, sorry, you were saying?
Shoot, you cut me off and I kind of lost my train of thought there.
Oh.
You were saying that they're not necessary?
Yeah. Again, it was not necessary. You got a neat little... I don't even know what you got for the...
I don't
Music
remember.
things.
Cards that lets you buy more items at that bar.
Okay. I never really used that bar in that game.
Okay. I can think of one mechanic that was kind of unnecessary. I think they put it in just to make a joke of the entire thing. When you had to collect all of the pieces of Princess Peach's wedding stuff.
Oh, right, that.
Yeah.
During Booster's wedding.
Booster's what? Yes.
Yeah, and it's pretty much... It was pretty much, you kind of have to do this.
Yeah, but it wasn't like it took up a lot
Yeah.
of your time.
No.
True. It was just a little irritating.
The only thing it
'Cause-
did was change a cutscene.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one cutscene. Mario and Bowser ending up kissing Booster's cheeks, and I'm like,
You took too long then.
Yeah.
yeah.
Quick enough, you get a kiss from Peach.
Yeah, I worked really hard to get that kiss, man.
Oh, jeez. Why does he bother?
Really? See, the amount of effort Mario puts in to get the Peach, I'm like, dude, there's plenty of other women in this world.
Yeah, and you gotta admit, she's just gonna get kidnapped again. It's kind of her thing, apparently.
Okay, we can go on a whole rant
Yeah.
about the Mario world and how
Yeah.
screwed up that place is. So, I had an idea for another unnecessary game mechanic, but I kind of lost the thought on it. It was back to the animal stuff. Oh, pet raising. In a game where it's like, oh, you get this cute little adorable animal, and you got to raise it just for the sake of raising it. And
I don't think I've ever had a game like that.
it's not common now, but it wasn't. What was the mana game we played?
Oh, Legend of Mana.
Legend of Mana. It had a pet raising system.
Yeah. It had a lot of systems.
It had a lot of systems, but that one stuck out to me because I was like, oh, we get a cute little sidekick. Yeah, he's useless until New Game Plus. Oh.
Wow.
So basically he's just a tag along and unnecessary.
Unless you get like a good monster like that Sky Dragon we got.
Yeah, once we got the Sky Dragon, I was like, yeah, this is replacing every other monster we have.
Yep.
Okay, so I can think of one that's a little annoying to me in Ni no Kuni, where you have to build a team of monsters.
Well, that's part of the system.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you were talking about that side quest where you have to catch a certain type of monster to
Yeah.
the researcher, because that's a pain. Because
Okay.
oh, you haven't played.
Oh,
this
I did
Legend.
that. I did that. That was unnecessary.
But Cody,
Yeah.
Uh,
Sorry.
catching monsters is completely random.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you have to fight the monster. This is until you hit the girl character because she can serenade them or something.
Yeah.
And the chance of her serenading them is completely random. Like you have to wait for a heart to appear over the monster's head after you beat it.
Ah.
And oh, it's so annoying. But you're right. It's part of the game mechanic.
Yeah.
Part of the game.
I mean, you only really need 9 monsters at the end. And you can hold like 500 little buggers.
Okay.
So in essence, it's sort of like a better Pokemon.
Yeah.
Slightly.
No, Pokemon did its thing really well. I'm not going
Okay.
to bash Pokemon for actually being a good pet
Sure.
raising.
Yeah.
True.
It was just annoying if you wanted to get all 150, then
Yeah.
300, and then 450.
Right.
Yeah.
Multiply that number by the game in the series by 150, and that's how many of the bastards there are. And then don't forget the shiny ones.
Ugh.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no. What about the IV thing?
IV?
You know, like the Pokevirus?
Oh God.
I don't know this.
Oh,
It's
sometimes your Pokemon can get a virus and you wouldn't even know it. But it boosts their stats exponentially when they level up.
Oh.
Or something like that. It's been a while since I played it.
Okay, I did not know this.
And IVs, I think, also determine their stat growth.
Ah.
So there's like a big thing about that.
Yeah.
And most people spend most of their time trying to master this.
Are you talking about EV training?
No,
Okay.
no IV.
yeah.
It's like an invisible stat, I think.
Okay. Because EV training is like mid-maxing your Pokemon to be the best Pokemon because you align with the Pokemon, their type, and then you gotta get the right personality because it also affects their stats.
Yeah.
That seems sort of unnecessary.
Yeah, but that's gamers making a game unnecessary.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, it's not enough to play for fun. You have to have the absolute best Pokemon you have
Yeah.
for tournament fights or something.
Yeah, if you go in with your just randomly collected team, you're not going to win. Because this guy steroided the hell out of his Machoke.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I can think of a unnecessary game mechanic.
Alright.
So any game where like it's mainly RPG most of the time,
Yeah.
but all of a sudden you have to cook.
Ah, cooking mechanics.
Yeah.
I don't mind those if they're done well.
Yeah, but
A lot of the ones I've seen haven't been done well.
Alright.
I like the ones where all you have to do is have those ingredients on you, and then X party member can cook it for you. You don't have to do anything.
Like Tails.
Like Tails. Tails is great for that.
This isn't really an RPG, but Breath of the Wild's pretty good at that.
Yeah.
You just... Geez, you don't even need to do anything fancy. If you just want a quick, health restore and just put a bunch of one thing in and it does it for you.
Yeah. The game I think of with the horrible cooking mechanic is Monster Hunter, where you had to hunt a monster, cook its meat, and there's a little mini game where you have the meat on a spittle, and you have to turn it and cook it properly. And if you overcook it, it doesn't heal you as much. And if you undercook it, it doesn't heal as much.
Ugh.
And you gotta watch and time it and hit the X button to get it off in time before it burns.
Okay,
Geez, you made me think of that quest in Paper Mario where you had to cook that cake for that Shy Guy.
Oh yeah, no, that was annoying.
okay, so
I didn't mind it as much, except the part where you had to cook it for exactly this many seconds.
Yeah.
And Thousand Year Door had something like that too, with the potion.
Yeah. But imagine doing this for your health items.
Ugh, that's even worse.
So, another unnecessary thing I've noticed in some games, food lifespan.
Food that can go bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, one that comes to mind, actually nothing comes to mind, but I know that is a thing in some games.
I have an example. I don't know how to pronounce this game, Bait and Kados. Not the one I showed you, but yeah, there's two of them. I showed you the second one. The first one, your items, your magnets would change over time. Sometimes for the better, other times for the worse. And food items were notorious for that because it would start as this, then get better, and then turn to rotten fruit.
The other mechanic, just to go along with that, is you have a stomach system where if you're not hungry, you will not eat the healing item you need to survive.
Oh.
This is mostly in survival games, I find, but there were a few RPGs where I've seen this, like World Ends With You has that.
Oh, Jesus.
One game I can think of, not for food, but for healing items, is Fallout 3. Like, when one of your limbs is damaged, and you already have full health, you can't heal that limb.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, really? Are you kidding me?
Isn't that a certain mode? I think you can change that.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's the mode that you can turn off and on.
I never found that.
Because I remember, I was busted up horribly, and I just took a nap. My guy was perfectly ready to go.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah.
I love that mechanic. I'll sleep this off.
Yeah, I think so.
Broken leg, I'm missing my arm. I'll take a nap. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
What you were saying, Cody?
Oh no, I was just talking about it was just the food mechanic. Yeah.
Who loves underwater swimming mechanics?
Oh.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the NES game.
That was one of them, but I'm talking about
Mario?
any game that makes you swim and you have a limited amount of time underwater.
Yep.
Like Sonic.
Like Sonic. A lot of the Rare games did this with Crash Band or not. Wow.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Banjo-Kazooie. Thank you. And even Donkey Kong Country 64 had this.
Oh, yeah.
Even though in previous game, apparently Donkey Kong can hold his breath for an eternity. In this game, no, he has a breath meter.
And for bonus points, bad swimming mechanics.
And bad swimming mechanics, where left is right and right is up, and you're constantly trying to fight your controls.
Ugh. Brutal.
Yeah. And mash the A button to go faster. Which also makes you go up. But yeah, I think Sunshine was the worst one for this, in my opinion, because there was a lot of underwater sections that just seemed like I don't want to be underwater.
What about the platforming sections without flood?
Oh yeah, no, that was unnecessary. It's like, hey, call back to the original N64 Mario. I get it, but at the same time, give me my goddamn flood back.
And even then, those stages were brutal.
Yeah. Are you a perfectly good platformer? Not 3D.
No. Well, too bad. You're doing it. You gotta learn to wall jump perfectly if you want to get past this area.
Yeah.
And spin jump.
Wall jump, spin jump, and even enemy bounce was, I think, a thing in one of them.
Ugh, Lord.
Okay, I can think of one game mechanic that was unnecessary for, like, a lot of reasons. I had this game called Hatred. Now, in order... and this may be, like, part of the game, but it's unnecessary.
Okay.
When you're low on health, all you have to do is find somebody on the ground and, like, push a button and execute them horribly and graphically, and you gain health back.
Okay. That's not such a bad mechanic. That's more of like, if it was a vampire game, that'd be way perfect for a vampire game.
Yeah.
Where you suck the blood in or something to heal.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
Makes more sense. Hatred's not a vampire game, I know
Yeah.
that. But.
Like, you know. But just those games where you have to do other things to gain health.
Yeah, you don't get health potions or that.
Yeah.
My favorite was always in the shooter games where you take a bullet, your vision goes red, so you have to hide behind something until your vision stops being red.
So
Oh,
Black
you
Ops.
regenerate.
Yeah, you regenerate, but there's no other way to heal yourself. You just gotta hide.
Yeah, and I'm like, and then it's like, it's only a matter of time before they come around the corner and just finish it off.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, we're going to run out of time here, so we'll wrap this up. We might actually continue this as a second parter, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Until then, I thank everyone for listening, and I have again been Devin.
I am Cody.
And I am David.
Thank you all for listening, and tune in next time.